It is 7 PM on July 20th, 2021. We are going to open the Committee of Committees meeting. You do roll call, please.
Yep, I have committee members, Chris Samples,
Here.
John Talbot,
Here.
William Luxinger is absent, Nathan Maz,
Here.
Jen Christensen is absent, Bill Motisi,
Here.
President Rick Worm,
Here.
Treasurer Brenda Onabini,
Here.
and I, Clerk Sandy Mazen here.
Oh, that reminds me too. Sorry.
Can
Now that-
you pull your mic closer? I have been struggling to hear you.
Now that we are called to order, we'll entertain a motion for the minutes.
Here, pass it right. Made in China.
No.
3
Anyone?
minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Don makes a motion to approve the June 15th, 2021 committee meeting minutes. Chris seconds. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes 701. Move on to the reports of the officers. The three things I have on the agenda, anybody have any questions on the fuel or water reports that were in your packet? We do have the utility bill drawing. We have a large crowd tonight. In case anybody wonders if anybody wins, here's a winner. It is 731 Golden Prairie.
Have we ever picked the same person?
Yes.
How many years have we been doing this? Seems like forever. It's been forever.
Most of the
Oh,
time I
8?
was on the board. So no, it started when I was on the board. So 13 or 14.
It was an idea we used for, we picked up at IML to put information on the back of the water bills and get
Yeah.
people to participate.
They used to have questions and but you can only have so many questions.
So many
Yeah.
words.
So two things I have that are not on the agenda. I spoke with Brenda yesterday or day before? Yesterday,
Saturday, Friday or Saturday.
was it? Oh, we had a former president of the Village of Davis Junction pass away, a gentleman named Russ Adams. He used to work with my father. My father asked me if I knew who he was, and I'd never heard of him before. And he was village president of Davis Junction at one point in time.
He's actually one of the founding council member trustees too.
Was he?
What year is that?
1978.
77 was
So
the,
they incorporated.
Incorporated.
77.
Yeah, but the first board wasn't appointed until 78, and he was one of the trustees then. And then Brenda and I looked it up. He became
Original then.
he became village president after Ed Bradley.
because I brought that up because I asked her if she knew who he was, and she didn't either. And I
Well, I
ended up
knew
finding,
at the Adams, I couldn't remember the,
well, I thought his name was Alan, because I was trying to remember what my
Yeah.
father said. And I looked it up and it was Russ Adams. So our condolences to his family. But it's part of our history.
can I also add that
Absolutely.
Ed Bradley passed away in September of last year, so, and he was the very first village president.
Did you find out how many terms he served?
Uh,
Somebody said he was there for a while.
Ed served until 1985.
Are we going to do any type of memorial then for the passing?
I don't know.
Oh,
I mean, they're not the only ones.
just
Tree.
knowledge for the public, 'cause there might be people within the village that remember him. He actually was, when I looked at it, or looked at his obituary, he worked with my father for a while. And then when he retired from there, was the same time he became village president here, according to what you just told me.
Yeah.
And then he went to work with Ken Deal when Ken was, just before Ken took over as president.
We've
That
Brenda and I discussed the recognition of members of the board who have passed. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic, we've lost 3 during the pandemic, and there has just not been an opportunity to donate or to do things on their behalf because Bob Protz died during the pandemic, and then we've
Well, we
lost.
lost another one too.
Yeah.
Wasn't Steve on the board at one point?
Oh, yep,
Steve
and
was too,
Steve.
yes.
Yeah,
And
Steve
Steve
Hawley as
Hawley,
well.
and so it's really kind of thrown a kink in what we're eligible to do for those types of things. But Brenda and I, as we leave pandemic state, will go back to the typical recognition.
And there are
Oh,
people that
Yeah.
gave up part of their own life to do this,
No, I was worried about you.
Oh, that's possible.
to occasionally get punched in the teeth. It's a lovely thing. Other thing I have on here is last week we were discussing budget, and Chris, you had mentioned that it was done by the supervisors. I don't want to discount the fact that the treasurer and the finance trustee were also involved with that. And if next year, if you would like to be involved with that,
Depends if we have $1 million reduction in it, then yeah, otherwise, no.
Well,
I think you're gonna see similar to what you see right now next
yeah, I
year.
think we will.
You
Too.
never know, do you?
That's my forecast. for
I
right
Well,
hope
and we
she's-
don't.
He's right.
Assuming, I don't assume the economy is gonna stay good. I think it's going to, there's gonna be some inflation,
Well,
and that's gonna be an issue for us too.
Some.
There's a lot of inflation.
We have a lot of
We saw the
inflation.
Dow yesterday.
Yeah,
It,
I mean,
it tanked on the news that blue states are looking at lockdowns again.
I just think that our entire economy is gonna see inflation at, I don't want to say hyperinflation, but gonna see some aggressive inflation like we saw in the 70s.
70s.
I could be wrong, but in which case, you'd have to watch the budget, and then I would like to be involved in it. But other than that, if it's just a regular and we have the same thing and we're down the same $1 million we were down until we either negotiate for an extended, landfill for them to add on or whatever, then it's,
Yes.
once it's the same, it's the same.
Mhm.
All right, then we'll move on. Sonar. Move on to Sandy.
You do have one more thing
Oh, what do I have?
in front of you.
Oh, yes, yes. It's literally on my screen. It's like me. Received an email from IDOT regarding the upcoming work project on 251. And I will read it to you. It will be sent to you as well.
Board pack next
It will be in the board packet for next week, which says Illinois Department of Transportation has prepared contract plans to replace the deck and perform substructure repairs to the bridge carrying Illinois 251 over the Sioux Line Railroad, 0.1 miles south of Illinois 72 in Davis Junction, Illinois. The project is scheduled for the September 17th, 2021 contract letting. The road will be closed to through traffic for approximately 180 consecutive calendar days during the construction. The road closure for Illinois 251 will use a marked detour utilizing Illinois 72, I-39, and Illinois 64. The department will be responsible for all signing and barricades required for the detour. See the attached map for the detour route, which you will receive in your packet as well. It can also be expected that some local roads will have increased local traffic during the closure of 251. According to the Good Neighbor policy, the roads selected for possibly having increased local traffic are approximately 1.03 miles of Big Mound Road from Illinois 251 to North Junction, and approximately 1.62 miles of North Junction Road from Big Mound Road to Illinois 72 East Chicago Avenue. The department's records indicate that North Junction Road is under the Davis Junction's jurisdiction. Prior to the start of the road closure, a video will be taken by a department representative and a field inspection will be made with department and village representatives to review the present condition of North Junction Road under the Davis Junction's jurisdiction. And upon completion of the proposed improvement, an inspection will be again held to determine any needed repairs or restoration. Any agreed upon repairs or restoration will be the expense of the department. Normal maintenance to the roadway surface, snow removal, mowing, and of vegetation and other roadside maintenance on North Junction Road will continue to be the responsibility of Davis Junction. Your acceptance of this letter of the understanding shall be considered as your approval of all terms described herein. Please sign and return this agreement to this office. Please retain a copy for your file.
Not like you get a choice.
No, but yeah, pretty much sign this. I want you
That's
to.
the bridge right over.
Well, it's pretty much, it's pretty much,
Right at the stop
Yeah.
sign.
yeah, so it's pretty much sign this and we'll do any repairs to the roads that might get abused.
Yeah.
Or don't sign it and we're not gonna pay for anything.
How do you get around for the train then?
They're gonna direct traffic out to 39.
Yeah,
Right.
So we go out that way.
they're gonna post the detour.
The detour will
Out to
be,
39 to 64.
You're
and then
not,
back
you're not
to
following
51.
me.
Oh, I am. You can go out this way down.
The White Rock?
Yeah, White Rock, and then come back.
Or you
Right,
could
Rock
go,
to Big
or you
Mound.
could go down Big Mount, and go past
Well, then that's,
and then come back. I mean, it's just a long ass.
that's a
It's just a
long.
long detour.
Why do you make me do that?
I'm
that's a long
sorry.
detour.
I don't have a beep. I literally have
It's
to
just a
slice
long
it into
detour.
some-
God.
That's
So,
not bad work.
just let you guys know, this is here, will be in your board packet, so you guys can review exactly what I just read you. You'll also have the map showing, but they're telling us that we can expect increased traffic. Because as soon as people traveling up and down that road realize that North Junction's closer than 39.
Local people will use it. That's.
Yeah.
Right.
The guy called.
So you're saying Big Mountain to Junction though?
Who
Joe?
sent it to you?
Hello, Rick.
Glenda would like to say something.
Just a moment.
Dawn
Yeah, Dawn something.
from IDOT.
See, I actually talked to the guy who's supposed to be the engineer for IDOT.
Yeah, this is just an administrator from District 2.
Right.
Don Vach,
And he said he would get a hold of me and we could drive the route together and videotape it
right.
so that we could get it on record. And I told him that's fine. And he actually gave me I got it in the calendar. I'd have to look it up.
The other option we have, and this is purely in jest,
Are you
is
gonna,
just push all the snow down to Big Mountain and leave it stuck in a big pile.
are you gonna put it on TikTok?
They said North Junction though, isn't it South Junction?
It's anything north of Big Mound is considered North Buck Junction Road. Actually, it might be anything north of Holcomb Road might be.
There's nothing south, is there? Or is the jog, is that south?
Still
Junction?
Junction.
Okay, all right.
So they're gonna jump on Big Mountain to Junction and come through town and.
Well, how would you go if you had to go around? Wouldn't you?
But I think
I
we
get
also
on the
need to,
highway.
we also need to share this, it probably has been shared with the sheriff, but at least let him know
In the
that we can expect,
When's this start?
yeah, let him know that,
Their bus routes.
we're gonna see,
Yeah.
yeah, especially to the Rolling Meadows.
Not till next year. They're letting it out this year, so they won't start construction till next summer.
Oh, well, then who cares? That's the way it's at.
Yeah.
So this won't
That's what the
interfere
guy
at
told
all
me.
with Tim Hayden's project, which, he's going to be hopefully, starting on.
Planning and zoning asked him if he had any concerns about this with his project, and he said he did not.
No, I said, yeah, I meant that any of the construction that the state's going to be doing should not interfere.
No,
Should
Yeah,
not,
he,
okay.
he
He's not
agreed with that.
concerned
Tim
about it
Hayden
anyway.
said that.
Okay, all
Be
right.
about done if everything.
It could,
Yeah.
because it won't be till next summer unless, I don't know when he plans to do his building.
He wants to open in May.
Then
No, so
it
he'll be
shouldn't be
done.
an issue. Or a very short issue, because, when are they really gonna start?
You'd like to start this fall.
No, the state. If the state's
Oh,
not gonna do it
yeah,
till next year,
next
they're
year.
not gonna do it till summer, which is April, May, so it'd be very
Mhm.
much of an issue for them. Assuming the state does anything on time, that's iffy at best.
no, just wanted you guys to be aware so we can get this signed and get it back to them. Otherwise, we get nothing for repairs in case they do damage to the road.
What about Glenda?
Glenda,
Sandy just mentioned what I wanted to mention, that I'm sure that there's several residents who don't realize that North Junction Road does start at Big Mound. So it's really South Junction.
Thanks. I had no idea.
I only know that because utility billing, all those homes on Junction are considered North Junction Road.
So if you hit a
I
train, then
just
you're
used
gonna have to go way.
72 is north south.
well, just go 72 over the viaduct, White Rock down to Big Mountain and come up from behind.
Most people also don't know that Junction Road is not called Junction Road, why it's within the original town district area.
You can get around it. and go to
Maple?
Killbuck, too.
Maple.
You can go to
Yeah,
Maples.
so you can go down.
Somewhere else.
Yes.
Killbuck's.
This might be a good time to
Build your bridge.
entertain that idea that we were talking about before, removing that stop sign at Harvest Glen and Junction Road.
We might need a more.
You'll need it.
Yeah, I wouldn't remove any stops.
You'll need it, otherwise.
The only stop, the sign I would remove is the one right by Bob Prots.
Yeah, Bob, that's what I'm talking about.
Because there's no reason for it. There's not enough
Yeah.
traffic for it.
I would agree with you, but with the detour coming
Right,
through.
I agree with you there.
I needed that.
But again, what we typically have is the train passes and the traffic
Yeah.
just bottlenecks right at that stop sign.
Mhm.
Oh, that's your say coming that way.
But there's no, even in our traffic study we did, there was not enough traffic at that spot or any other significant dangers that warranted putting a stop sign there. Now, the one at Autumnwood and Junction Road does, because you have a blind hill to the south that would actually warrant a safety issue for somebody coming over that hill. But the one there was no reason to put one out there other than we lived there.
Well, we could just put that in the future plan there, when at the proper time. And,
Yep. When
Get
the
that taken care
detour's
of.
done, maybe we can review it again.
well, I want to see it more than reviewed. I'd like to see it get done,
It
Well-
all takes a vote, so.
You got 6 people that vote. They're the deciding factor in everything. I only vote if you die.
We didn't ask them to put it there.
Yeah, we did. We voted.
Yeah.
But we did.
Yeah.
We put it there. We didn't ask the people.
No. No, and it's,
Somebody put a lot of stop signs everywhere.
Yeah, they did.
we removed a few of those right away too. All right, we'll move. Sandy, you did the FOIA?
The FOIA is in the board packet if anybody has any questions on it. And the only thing I have not on the agenda is I am at the Municipal Clerks of Illinois conference or seminar on Thursday and Friday, so I will not be in the office. Just so the public is aware and the board is aware, I do get reimbursed for my mileage in one direction and my hotel stay while I'm there, as I am a district director for the Municipal Clerks of Illinois, so there's no cost to the village except for
You don't pay your mileage on the other direction?
The village covers that. So that's why I said it's mainly covered by
Oh,
the
good.
municipal
That's
clerks
good.
of Illinois. So that's why I typically would not go to a conference in O'Fallon for any other reason. Yeah. But
Missouri.
it's right outside St. Louis, but I have to go represent our district. So, and then elections for that are coming up. I suspect I will be asked to run again.
Oh, it's a good representative. Thank you for that. It's a good representative for our municipalities.
It is, and it's
Oh.
got the added benefit of having some cost coverage. Why I attend some of these things.
While we're on these attending of meetings, we will be hosting the first NEMA meeting since the pandemic started. It is well past my term to be out of that.
What's a NEMA meeting for those who
Oh.
don't know?
It's the Northern Illinois Mayors Association. I currently serve as the president on that association, and I should have been replaced late last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
You're-
because of the
you're-
pandemic,
yeah.
I'm still sitting in that seat, and so trying to get that meeting put together. So any of the board members that would like to attend that night, we can get it out. There's a public notice if more than
When is it?
2 of us are there.
It's going to be August 19th.
So plenty of notice we got a month notice here to,
When it
if
is?
you guys like, that's
Yeah.
gonna be at Fritz's Wood and Nickel. That should be the night I will hopefully get voted out of there.
The third.
We're still waiting for the complete list of mayors to come from the ones that were placed from Cookie, so we can get together a nominating committee and get that taken care of this
What
time.
time does it start?
Usually around 6.
Heroes are rolling.
Why wouldn't you want to stay?
It's past my time. It's time for somebody else.
If they switch on a regular.
It's
Yeah,
ev-
every
it's annual.
year. Yeah.
Yeah, so before me was Becky from Stillman Valley, Becky Waltrip.
So there's a time limit on which you can serve.
For
No.
the, for the
Oh,
Northern
you can stay as
Out-
long as you want. I mean, you know.
Well, you can stay as long as the people there will keep you back.
Yeah,
But typically it rotates from the president to the vice president to the treasurer or secretary. No, Cookie's the secretary.
Cookie is always the secretary because you guys have a clerk as a secretary so that minutes get taken.
Yes. And then, so that between the president, vice president and treasurer, so the vice president right now is Hugh McCaskey
Yes, from
from
Stewart.
Stewart, Illinois. So he should be the next one, if he's nominated, to take over that seat. Vicky didn't rerun, did she?
From Thompson. No.
So Vicky from Thompson, Illinois didn't rerun, so she skipped taking over the presidency and so I went from secretary to president right after Becky. And then unfortunately Vicky left. I really liked her. She was a lot of fun.
But hopefully this will be our last time needing to host.
Yes. At least for a while. And hopefully there'll be some changes to it as well, because I think some of the stuff that Mayor Mike Belvedere proposed was great, to break us up into quadrants, to make it a little easier for the smaller communities to attend. And then once a year have a meeting where they all get together. So hopefully those smaller communities would actually come and attend that, because we do get some really good speakers and some good stuff that happens in those, whether it's historic or, stop looking at the clock.
Are you looking at the clock?
Yes.
All right, we'll move on. Brenda?
I do have something. We sold the 2004 F-350, and then we have a potential buyer for the 2008 F-250. We'll know by end of day tomorrow.
We made $9,000 off the first one.
Oh,
I want to get rid of the big one.
Well,
International?
It's
Yeah.
out there.
so we sold the F-550, in 3 days, 4 days? And
For
for
$9,000.
9,000. And then we put the F-250 up this morning and it's the guy's supposed to come in tomorrow. So it's potentially sold.
Yep.
For
Just remember, don't go buy
15.
Kelly Blue Book, add 20% to Kelly Blue Book,
1,000,
15,000.
because car prices right now are just skyrocketed.
2008.
we got our money's worth out of both of
Oh,
them.
we
Oh,
did.
yeah. The 250, the 550 was the original village truck.
Yeah, the first one I sold for
Was that, that was
9,000.
in Parks, right?
No,
No, that was
in
everything.
Public
It
Works.
was everywhere.
It was
Yeah.
everything.
It was
the
everywhere.
rusted multi-
That's the only truck we had when we had that really heavy snow and the
That
transmission
worked.
went out.
Yeah.
That one- Yeah, that's the one we
Yeah.
related under the fix.
Yeah,
Because we sold truck number 1. We don't own truck number 2, and number 3 is also on there. So we're going to
Good deal.
be getting half of the truck lineup soon. And I'm with Chris. I want that international to sell.
It'd be nice.
that's an 06.
I don't wanna pay
2012.
Oh, we must already got rid of the 6.
Yes, we did. That was the first one we,
All right,
That was a trade.
it was the second truck week.
yeah.
All right. Anything else, Brenda?
That's it. That's it.
All right, committees, community development events is not here. Does anybody have anything on her behalf?
No.
The farmer's market is tomorrow night from 4 to 8. I saw that Rustic Oven's going to be there, and there's a really cool idea out there. And so if somebody misses it, because I don't post this video typically till Thursday, but there is a lady coming to the farmer's market doing back to school photos on the spot. She seems to have a lot of interest. I've seen her sharing it in other community pages, so I'm interested to see how that turns out.
What was the first one? What do they make?
Rustic Oven, they make wood fire pizzas.
Wood fire pizza?
Yes, they're delicious.
It's flatbread.
Who's gonna take the
Like wood
photos?
fire in Rockford?
There's a vendor who signed up for it, so she's just gonna take back to school photos on the spot.
Who's that? We don't know, or?
I'd have to look up her name again.
Yeah.
Okay.
That vetting process.
Oh,
They do.
never mind. I'll ask Bill when it's his turn.
All right. Anything further on her behalf?
Nope.
Anybody have anything for finance?
No.
All right. See, I look at you. 'Cause
Can I ask-
it's always money.
Can I ask a
Oh,
question?
okay, so when did you get elected to the board? 03?
We'll have to wait for
Yes.
some public
Yeah, so
comment.
you've only been here for 18 years. Why not?
Well,
Hold on.
before it comes up.
Wait a second.
All right, ordinance enforcement.
It's been a little busy, and we are tending to, to the alleged violations, and there's a myriad of violations, ranging from grass, drainage problems, you name it, vehicle problems, the general run-of-the-mill for things. So we're staying, somewhat busy on that. And let's see. Been trying to watch the parks, make sure these cars at night going in there, stuff like that. And people have been, very, very cooperative. And told them, parks close at night, and appreciate it, folks. If you find another place to chit chat.
Anything further, Bill?
No, that's it at this point.
I just had a question. Do we permit the people that seal driveways? They are a business. They are general.
Talking about towns.
Any of them.
You got the flyer today.
They're supposed to get solicitors permits, yes.
Well, for soliciting, yes. For coming in and just stealing a driveway because somebody called them, no. No.
I-
I had a flyer somewhere on my.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's,
so
yeah.
that's how they
Tape
get
to the
away with it,
mailbox.
is because they tape them to the mailbox so that they're not technically soliciting and they don't put them in the mailbox because the US Postal Service gets angry at them.
It's illegal. Can't put- That's why most of them have that one underneath there for your newspaper.
Or campaign information.
I remember that in my days of delivering
Yeah.
newspaper. I saw that they mowed the lots, but they haven't mowed all of them. Yeah, I think on rotation, whoever.
Are you talking about
Green-
Plat
Green-
10?
Yeah, well.
New Leaf?
Is that what?
New Leaf?
It is New Leaf.
New Leaf is the builder, but Harvest Glen is the owner of those lots. And my understanding, I was talking to Bill about this before the meeting. My understanding is they just started mowing today and they don't mow them on rotation. However, they typically mow them with a flail mower, and Public Works informed me they're actually mowing them with a,
It's a regular mower.
with a regular
Yeah.
mower. So that's typically not their style.
Wow.
So
Much
we
fun.
anticipate it
Yeah,
will
but-
take them a few days to get through them
I
all.
just want, because they didn't do them all. I mean,
Yeah.
some of the smaller lots in between weren't done, but the one behind my house was stirred up.
Since rum.
It's-
Yeah.
It's quicker than it usually is. It wasn't as tall as it usually is.
Yeah, no, but Bill's gonna check on them in a few days, make sure they get all of
Yeah,
them.
we've been on time, on top of them, and a lot of work that's got to be done out there. And we certainly want to see that get done. We have so many homes out there that are immediately in the area that can be affected by the change of the wind, stuff like that, with all these noxious weeds.
I'm familiar with the empty lots and all the weeds.
Yeah, well, that's what we got to try to get a handle on.
Does how many houses do we have going up now? I I just wondered, because I saw that they have dropped off, that they have a load of wood dropped off in front of one. I would just wonder.
There are 2 houses that are waiting on occupancy permits and that are pretty much built, and then 4 homes in which they received new permits for.
That they're going to start this year.
Yes. Brenda, 4.
Yes.
Along with Plat 10, a couple days ago, we had somebody just causing problems and went out to Plat 10 and pulled the culverts out of the ditch, the loose ones that are out there that for harvest time to use, and put them out in the middle of the road.
Ouch.
Really? Where's that
Out one of the short roads on Plat 10.
at? All right.
That would hurt.
So somebody stopped by and actually pushed them back in the ditch, but had a resident get a hold of me and ask who to contact, because those things have been out there for a long time and they wanted to know whose property they were. So we got them the number, the contact information for Harvest One LLC, and they said that contact them. She said they're going to get out there and get somebody to move them.
Yeah, they've been there for a lot of years.
The people who own those lots are pretty agreeable when we ask them to do things nicely.
But we can't go take their property.
Nope, we can't.
So you have to contact them, and it was great. I mean, the resident did that and actually reached back out to me, asking about it, and then immediately almost sent me back another email, said that they contacted them back to move them. That was excellent. Anything, Bill, you're done? John?
Yes, I'm done.
Parks?
We are still waiting to hear back from Fairgram on the survey. Nate was going to follow up again with them to see where that stands. I did get a call from, I want to say it was Brett from Junior Tackle. I have not spoken with him yet, but I did speak with Nate. Sounds like Nate's been very, very busy trying to accommodate all the requests this year for the use of our fields. And that is on an application basis. You submit your application, things get approved, and that's the order things are rewarded. Rewarded is not the right word. That is the way things are given out as far as where you'll be using the fields. I think the situation was with Junior Tackle is they were always used to being in the same spot year after year after year. However, this year, with as busy as we are and all the uses we have, Nate's using the skills that we hired him for and why we wanted him here, because he's pretty sharp about all this. And we're going to accommodate everyone, not leave anyone out. So there are going to be some changes. So if you get the call, like I say, I'm standing behind Nate's decision for the way that he's doing things. I think it's for the better of the village, and we're utilizing all our spaces. So thank you, Nate, and the crew. We are working short-staffed. As you know, we did not hire as many people this year for a lot of different reasons, budget being one of them. So we're doing great out there, and I appreciate Nate. And also our street side too is working shorthanded. Once again, budget cutbacks and some other issues. So I appreciate everybody's hard work. Office too. You too, Rick.
Oh,
Did you want to explain further what's going on with Junior Tackle, or would you prefer to just wait?
Like I said, I spoke with Nate. It's just better utilization of the fields is what it sounds like. And there are some costs associated with that. I mean, we're going to end up $1,300 worth of expenses towards Junior Tackle. Well, you know, it takes up a lot of manpower, a lot of time, and a lot of hours. And I think they're expecting to be in the same spot they've always been for their practices and such. And based on how we have to utilize our fields, also based on how the applications were submitted, I did sign some tonight, and there were other organizations ahead of them. And that's how it's being dealt with. Did you have any further information?
Just, if I didn't know what you were talking about, it might be a little vague, but Junior Tackle has essentially been given the main field that they're typically given, and then given an alternative field instead of the practice field that they're accustomed to. As John
Yeah.
mentioned, they did not
Different
file
field.
they did
Yeah.
not apply first for use of the fields, and they also, John's right. I mean, Nate had to make some tough decisions, but we got to fit everybody.
They've never practiced on the main field.
So they typically use a practice field,
Yeah, the one
Which
right
is-
next door to it.
which is ideal for the soccer that
Soccer.
applied first.
It's all based
I
on,
never walked on that field next door to the main field, but it's a
It's all
really
grass,
nice.
isn't it? I mean,
Yeah,
it's
and
like
it's
tackle
super
football.
flat, and so he said it would be very accommodating for soccer, and
Well, I mean, behind it is what's the.
And I believe that field has
that's where
drainage
he
under it.
moved them to.
I mean, it takes a lot to keep the fields up for a playing level and a playing standard, and whether it be soccer, whether it be football. And once again, as the applications come in, that's the way. And I think that's a very fair way of doing it. There's just a lot of interest in using our park system because of, I mean, it's as Nathan discussed, it's a great amenity that people love, and it's very well maintained.
We need more
new
park.
soccer teams or new soccer league going?
No,
It's just the kids.
it's the same.
It's all kids.
Kindergarten through eighth, yes.
But it's just busy. I mean, we took last year off with the virus, COVID, and this year it's just getting very busy. And
People are restless.
once again, Nate's, if you see Nate or any of the crew, let them know. I mean, they're working short staffed, and we're getting it all done for our community who loves our park. I did run into a couple skateboarders at Dollar General. I'm not quite sure how they knew who I was, but they said, thank you to everybody again. So it's nice to see a group of young men being very appreciative of us getting the ramp and stuff. And I think that's just a small thing to do to help, serve our young people to a positive interest, something to keep them from getting arrested at a young age and having it maybe shape or ruin the rest of their lives. So it's a good thing.
So I'm out there cleaning, actually.
Yeah, they're taking care of it. That's good.
Did maintenance on it and stuff themselves, so.
Last week, there was, after we had the meeting where we voted to approve the new ramp, I don't know if the rest of you saw, but there was something on the rants page about us having closed it down,
Yeah.
not to punish them. And there were people
That was
going
not
off
true.
about, it's like,
Somebody
know,
did
if the-
comment that it wasn't true.
if the people would just get, when they hear this silly stuff, call us, so we can at least tell you the truth. We have nothing to hide. We're not trying to sneak around and do stuff. It's literally out in the open right here. But yeah, it was just, and finally, one of the other kids actually chimed in and said, no, they're actually looking at buying another ramp and corrected everything. So it was really good. They've been phenomenal about giving us a hand with this.
I have nothing else.
All right, Chris, streets. Nathan, utilities.
I have nothing.
Anything on the Verizon lease?
No, I haven't heard anything.
All
It's
right,
been at least 6 weeks since I've heard anything from our attorney.
public?
Nothing.
Anything further from any of the board members for the betterment of the village?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
John makes a motion to adjourn. Nathan seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. We are adjourned at 7:32.